Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Icon Teacher. I am Satya Prasad. In the previous session, we have seen how to evaluate the limits. So in today's class, we will see how to solve the problems of evaluation of limits when we have to consider the left hand limit and right hand limit. So today's class, we are going to see first of all when do we consider the left hand limit and right hand limit before evaluation of the limits. Okay. Now let us observe here f of x is equal to x square plus 2, x less than equals to x less than 2 and is equal to 2x plus 2 when x is greater than or equal to 2. So the first question is limit extends to an f of x. So here it is clearly observed that when x is tending to 1, which means x is taking a value slightly less than 1 or more than 1. So what is the definition which is apt for x tends to 1? Is it the first definition or second definition? So it's obvious that for all the values of x less than 2, it is x square plus 2. Therefore, I have to choose the first definition in this case. So I can find limit extends to 1. In place of f of x, I write x square plus 2. So this is equal to 1 square plus 2, that's equal to 3. So here there is no case of ambiguity. It's very clear that x is tending to 1, which means that x takes a value slightly more than 1 or less than 1, which means that the suitable function is x square plus 2. Now let us see the second case. Limit x tends to 3 f of x. Now when x is taking a value 3, x is tending to 3, which means x takes a value slightly more than 3 or less than 3. So in such case, the suitable definition is obviously the second definition, that is 2x plus 2. So we can plug in f of x as 2x plus 2. So we get this as 2 into 3 plus 2, that is 8. So here we could find that when limit x tends to 1 or x tends to 3, just we need only one definition. But if you observe the third one, limit x tends to 2 f of x, x is tending to 2 means x takes a value slightly more than 2 or less than 2, and here we observe that the definition is changing at 2. So in this case we have to find the left hand limit and right hand limit. So at a point where the definition is changing, if the limiting value of the function at that particular point where the definition is changing is being asked, then we have to find the left hand limit and right hand limit. So let us see the third case. Limit extends to 2 f of x. So in this case, we have to consider two cases, that is left hand limit and right hand limit. So let us try to find out the left hand limit. So left hand limit, in short we write it as LHL, at x equal to a is limit h tends to 0 f of a minus h, and right hand limit, shortly written as RHL, at x equal to a can be written as limit h tends to 0 f of a plus h, and the limiting value of the function exists only if the left hand limit and the right hand limit are equal. So let us try to find out the left hand limit and right hand limit. So limit extends to 2 f of x. Let us consider the left hand limit at x equal to 2. So this can be written as limit x tends to 2 minus f of x, which is equal to limit h tends to 0. So when we say limit x tends to 2 minus, that means x takes a value slightly less than 2. So let h be a very small positive value. So if I remove that small positive value from 2, we get 2 minus h. So the value of x is 2 minus h. So we write it as f of 2 minus h. So obviously 2 minus h is less than 2. So when the value of x is 2 minus h, that is less than 2, I should choose the first definition. So f of 2 minus h is 2 minus h whole square plus 2. So we write it as limit h tends to 0. So f of 2 minus h will be 2 minus h whole square plus 2. 2 minus h whole square plus 2, and we got the result as, now I substitute h equal to 0, so we get 2 square plus 2, that is equal to 6. So the left hand limit is equal to 6. Now let us find out what is the right hand limit. RHL at x equal to 2. Limit x tends to 2 plus f of x, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of 2 plus h. Now which means when x is tending to 2 plus, that means x takes a value slightly more than 2. By how much? By a small positive value h. So a very small positive value h is added to 2, so we get 2 plus h. So that means x is taking a value 2 plus h. So 2 plus h is obviously more than 2. So the suitable definition for that will be f of 2 plus h will be 2 into 2 plus h plus 2. So we write it as limit h tends to 0, 2 into 2 plus h plus 2. So here we have substituted in place of x 2 plus h. So 2 into 2 plus h plus 2. So now we are going to evaluate this limit, and we get this as 2 into 2 plus 2, and we got this as 6. So here you could observe that the left hand limit and the right hand limit are exactly the same. So we got the left hand limit as 6 as well as the right hand limit as 6, which means the left hand limit is equal to right hand limit. So if the left hand limit and right hand limit are equal, then only we say that the limit exists. So LHL at x equal to 2 is equal to RHL at x equal to 2. Therefore, limit x tends to 2 f of x exists. If they are not equal, we simply say limit does not exist. So in this case, since the left hand limit and right hand limit are equal, we say the limit exists, and therefore limit x tends to 2 f of x is equal to 6. So this is how we evaluate the limit, where the definition changes at a point where the tending value is that particular number. So you can pause the video and make a note of these problems. Well, now let us see another problem. Limit x tends to 0 modulus of x by x. Limit x tends to 0 modulus of x by x. As we know that modulus of x is equal to x when x is greater than or equal to 0, and is equal to negative x when x is less than 0. So that means this modulus of x has two definitions, and the definition is changing at x equal to 0. Therefore, we should find left hand limit and right hand limit. So this is the thumb rule. Whenever the definition is changing at a point where you are finding out the limit, if that number where definition is changing is the tending value, then you have to find left hand limit and right hand limit. So in this case, since the modulus function is changing the definition at 0, we have to find the left hand limit and right hand limit. So let us find the left hand limit and right hand limit. So LHL at x equal to 0 is limit x tends to 0 minus f of x, which is equal to limit h tends to 0, we write f of 0 minus h. So x is taking a value slightly less than 0, so we have to subtract a small positive value from 0, so it is 0 minus h. So this is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of minus h. So we plug in minus h in the definition, and we get this as limit h tends to 0 modulus of minus h divided by minus h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 modulus of minus h is h divided by minus h, so which is equal to minus 1. As we know that h is a positive value, so minus h is negative, modulus of minus h becomes plus h, divided by negative h, so h and h gets cancelled and we get negative 1. So the limiting value of the function, if you observe, we found the left hand limit of the function is minus 1. Let's find the right hand limit at x equal to 0. So RHL at x equal to 0 is limit x tends to 0 plus f of x is limit h tends to 0 f of 0 plus h. So that is limit h tends to 0 f of h. So when we say limit x tends to 0 plus, that means x takes a value slightly more than 0. By how much? By a small positive value h. So the value of x becomes 0 plus h, that is h. So the new input is h. So f of h is limit h tends to 0. We write f of h as modulus of h by h. And limit h tends to 0, on simplification of modulus of h becomes h, because h is a positive value. So modulus of h is h divided by h, and we got the answer as 1. So here we observe that the left hand limit is negative 1, whereas the right hand limit is 1. So left hand limit and right hand limit are not equal, therefore the limit does not exist at x equal to 0. So LHL at x equal to 0 is not equal to RHL at x equal to 0. So if LHL and RHL are not equal, we say that limit does not exist. Therefore, limit x tends to 0 modulus of x by x does not exist. Does not exist. So very often we use this in the problems of continuity and differentiability. So you must be thorough with how to find the left hand limit and right hand limit. So a very important result is this: whenever we have root over x square, so we should consider this to be modulus of x. We only consider the positive value. For example, square root of 4 is only plus 2, square root of 9 is only 3. So root over x square will be modulus of x. So this is an important result. You can pause the video and make a note of this. Now let us solve another problem. Limit x tends to 0 root over half into 1 minus cos 2x whole divided by x, and we are given the options. Option A is 1, B minus 1, option C 0, and none of this. So let us make use of the identity of 1 minus cos 2x. So 1 minus cos 2x is equal to 2 sin squared x. So we can write this as limit x tends to 0 square root of half into this 1 minus cos 2x is replaced with 2 sin square x. So we write 1 minus cos 2x as 2 sin squared x whole divided by x. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled, and we got this as limit x tends to 0 root over sin square x whole divided by x, and root over sin square x will be equal to modulus of sin x, because we have seen just now that root over x square is mod x. So root over sin square x becomes mod sin x. So we write it as limit x tends to 0 modulus of sin x divided by x. So since we have modulus function, we have to find left hand limit and right hand limit. As we are finding limit x tends to 0, so the tending value is 0, so the definition changes at 0, so we have to find left hand limit and right hand limit. So let's find the left hand limit at x equal to 0. So limit x tends to 0 minus f of x is equal to limit h tends to 0. We get f of x is modulus of sin x by x. So we write modulus of sin. In place of x we write 0 minus h divided by x is equal to minus h. So we get minus h. So this is equal to limit h tends to 0. We get modulus of sin of minus h divided by minus h, and sin of minus h is minus sin h, because sin is an odd function. So sin of minus h is minus sin h. So we get this as limit h tends to 0. We get this as modulus of minus sin h divided by h. And h is a very small positive value, so which should be an angle in the first quadrant. So sin h is positive and minus sin h is negative, and modulus of minus sin h will be plus sin h. So we get this as limit h tends to 0. We get this as sin h divided by, and the denominator we have minus h, so we can take minus out of the limit and we write minus limit h tends to 0 sin h by h. So in the previous video I explained how to evaluate the limit when it is in the form of limit x tends to 0 sin x by x, and that is equal to 1. So this is h. So if you can find the sine of the angle, the denominator is the same and that is a tending value. So sin h by h as h tends to 0, if all these three are same, then the answer is 1. So this is equal to minus 1. Now let us find the right hand limit RHL at x equal to 0. So limit h tends to 0 f of 0 plus h. So this will be limit h tends to 0 sine of modulus of sine of 0 plus h divided by h. So this is equal to limit h tends to 0 modulus of sine h divided by h, and sine h is positive, so modulus of sine h is obviously positive. So we get this as limit h tends to 0 modulus of sine h becomes sine h divided by h, and the answer is 1. So we got the left hand limit as minus 1 and the right hand limit is plus 1. So the limit does not exist. So LHL at x equal to 0 is not equal to RHL at x equal to 0. Therefore limit x tends to 0 f of x does not exist. So here f of x is the function root over half into 2 sin square x by x, or which was obtained by simplifying root over half into 1 minus cos 2x by x. So this becomes the f of x. So limit x tends to 0 f of x is, the right answer will be none of this, because it is not matching with either 1, minus 1 or 0, because the limit does not exist. So the answer is option D. So you can pause the video and make a note of this.